Well, friends, it's time to dive back into event guides. So let's get into the 2025 Wine Dine Half Marathon Weekend event guide with this breakdown of everything you need to know for this year's race weekend. Well, here we go. Let's dive into the 2025 Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend event guide. As you can see here on the welcome page, pretty standard stuff if you are familiar with runDisney and all that goes on with that. But just Adam Ball, Vice President of ESPN, runDisney, and Wide World Sports, welcoming us to the event. And our featured charity is Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida. They have been the Wine and Dine charity for a while now, at least since COVID, if not prior to that. I don't remember exactly, but definitely been a while. So let's dive into weekend events. This is where the bread and butter, or majority of your information is going to be here in the weekend events. We'll start out with the important information tab. Just kind of a rundown of all the different stuff from Disney rules to costuming guidelines. Then we have tabs for weather warning systems, so green flag, yellow flag, red flag, black flag. We'll dive in here for a second. If you are new to running events, pretty much everybody uses a flag system. Green means conditions are good. Yellow means less than ideal, so kind of getting whether it be windy or warm outside, not extreme heat, but the temperatures are up there, that kind of stuff. Less than ideal. High, that's where you're going to get into your high temperatures, your really low temperatures. Maybe some rain in there. Black flag is when they're just probably going to end up canceling the event or significantly changing it. Stuff like extreme heat, storms in the area, stuff like that is what we would get with a black flag. Here we go, your start group times. This is for we'll go into this a little bit more, but just a full rundown of each race and the projected start times for each corral. Transportation-wise, again, we'll go into this a little bit more later, but a full rundown of each day as well. Event waivers, just a rundown of what your event waivers are. If you have not already done so, please sign your waivers. I know internationals usually cannot do so ahead of time, so they will have paper waivers there in advance, or at the Expo, that you can sign there. Otherwise, if you are able to, please sign your waivers ahead of time and get that done. Check-in passes for the event will be available on October 20th, and that's where your bib number. It will say if you signed your waiver or not. All that stuff will be on that check-in pass, and you present that as you get your bib. Again, costuming guidelines, full rundown of that. If you're doing costumes, make sure to check that out before finishing those up to make sure they fit into those guidelines. Event reminders, kind of basic stuff. You're subject to screening ahead of the race, stuff like that. Children may not be permitted in, or that under the age requirement, not permitted to run. Just different general rules. Nothing too crazy here. This flag guidelines tab is for those carrying flags. So a lot of runners will run with an American flag or a flag from their country, that kind of thing. Can't be bigger than 3x5. And flag poles cannot be longer than 4 feet. So just keep that in mind if you are planning on doing that. Race day information, gear check bags, or gear bag checks are available at all 3 races. We'll go into that a little bit more in a second as well when we go over the maps. When you pick up your race shirts, you'll get a clear bag. That can be used as your gear check. Also, they'll have extra bags morning of in case you need one there too, but you'll write your bib number on there, and then they'll give you a sticker to place on the bag and on the back of your bib so get the correct bag back at the end of the race. Food and beverage options, lost and found, just more general stuff. Race etiquette, just again, basic running stuff. Pay attention to race instructions. Wear your bib on the front of yourself. Make sure you're going into the right corrals. Don't walk with like more than 2 across. So large groups don't clog up a pathway. Allow runners to get around you. Stuff like that. Use your words. Watch out for runners with disabilities. Say excuse me, whatever. All that great stuff. Just be nice out there. It's pretty standard run race etiquette. Snack box, nutritional stuff. They got a rundown of what will be in your snack box as well as on course. For the 5K, you'll get 1 water stop. We'll check that out on the map in a second. The 10K, you'll get 3 water stops. And then for the half marathon, you will get 9 water and Powerade stops. There's going to be no Powerade on the 5K or 10K course, so just keep that in mind. And there will also be a Honey Stinger Energy Chew stop on the half course. Again, no food stops on the 5K or 10K course either. That is very standard for runDisney. They do not do Powerade or food stops on anything below a 10 miler. So definitely keep that in mind. Then in your snack box you'll get water. You'll have water, Powerade, banana, and the snack box. They don't have the full list of what's in the snack box just yet. Says check back later. Post-race information. This will be where you get your race results, basically. Obviously, races haven't happened yet, so race results are not active. But be sure to check back for that later. Race photos. They kind of have changed this a little bit. So now, when you get your check-in pass, there will be a code on that check-in pass, and that's going to have your PhotoPass code. When you go to get your photos, you will enter this code in for your race. For a challenge, you'll get 1 code. So keep that in mind. Prior to this, you used to have to enter a code for each individual race. That is no longer. So like say for the challenge you'll get 1 code now. For if you're doing 5K and challenge you'll get 2 codes because they're 2 separate events. But yeah, make sure, and when you go into the My Disney Experience app or online on the website, you'll want to link photos under the PhotoPass area. And enter that code in, and then your photos should start appearing. You can do that. You can enter that code ahead of time, then they'll start appearing when they're uploaded, or you can enter that code afterwards, and then they'll start appearing right away. So there's that. And yeah, moving along. Minivan ad. They always stick that in there. Coast to coast. If you ran Disneyland Halloween and you're eligible for Coast to Coast at Wine Dine, you will be given a wristband at the Expo. Make sure to keep that wristband on all weekend long to collect your Coast to Coast medal at the end of Sunday after the half, so you can earn that Coast to Coast medal. On your check-in pass as well, it should say Coast to Coast eligible. If not, be sure to check out runner relations or guest services at the Expo to get that squared away as well. And then Advent Health is the medical providers of runDisney. They are free to all runners. That is part of your race entry. They will be throughout the course and pre and post race. So if you have some sort of medical needs, be sure to check in with them. And back to weekend events. That was important information. Let's dive into the first event of the weekend, the Health and Fitness Expo. So here we go on the Health and Fitness Expo. Starts on Thursday, October 23rd at 10 a.m. And then runs till 7. Day 2 will be noon to 7 on the 24th. And then on the 25th, Saturday, 11 to 3. Now, a note, if you are a Club runDisney person, obviously that time on day 1 will start earlier than that. As we get into transportation here, make sure you have some sort of transportation to get you to the Expo before that time, because resort transportation will not run for Club Run Disney times. Just keep that in mind. I believe parking lots will open at 6:30 in the morning, and then Platinum gets in first at, I believe, 8, and then Gold after that at 8:39, whatever it was, I forget exactly. But Platinum gets in first, and then Gold after that. So, virtual queue information, again, as we have been doing basically since COVID at this point, virtual queue for day 1 of the Health and Fitness Expo. This is for merchandise only, so if you don't want merch or Brooks shoes, you can bypass this completely and just go get your bib and shirt in the other buildings. But if you are interested in merch, which a lot of people are, you will need to join the virtual queue for merchandise on day 1 at 8:30 a.m. and then again at 1 p.m. This is kind of to space people out, make sure the expo isn't so chaotic. This is nothing new. You can select up to 6 people to join your party in your virtual queue, and they'll give you an estimated wait time as when you're when the groups started being called, right about, usually start calling groups around 9:45-ish, give or take. So there is that. But all that information on how to do that is all in this tab. And event waivers we went over, race, bib, and shirt pickup. Just outlining that you have to pick up your bibs and shirts on the respective days. So if you're doing the 5K, you have to do it on Thursday. If you're doing the 10K and or challenge, you have to do it on Thursday or Friday. And then half marathon, any of the days, make sure you get that stuff picked up. You cannot pick up somebody else's stuff, and there is no race day bib pickup either. Expo transportation. Again, like I said, if your club on that day 1, make sure you have some alternative mode of transportation, whether it be Uber, car, minivan, whatever, because transportation will only start a half hour before the 10 o'clock opening of the expo. So anybody that needs to get there before that obviously will have to do their own modes of transportation. And then each day is 30 minutes before expo open, and then it runs until 30 minutes after. All Walt Disney World resorts get transportation, and then that includes Shades of Green, Swan Dolphin, and Swan Reserve as well. Again, a minivan ad. This is a layout of the entire kind of complex. The 3 buildings you'll be going into for this. Well, A, you don't only have to go into if you're getting merch or Brooks shoes. But then B will be where your race shirt and general and your kind of vendor expo will be. C is where you get your bibs. They label like this, but you need to go to C to get your bib before you can go to B. So, because there is a tab on your bib to tear off to get your shirt. So make sure you go to C first before you go to B. Moving along, this is a layout of the Advent Health Arena. This is where the merchandise will be, as well as the Brooks shoes. Pretty standard, nothing crazy here. They'll have a mobile checkout, a regular checkout, area for pre-purchase items. Club Run Disney Platinum members have their area on the 2nd level. Brooks shoes along the back. All very standard stuff for Run Disney Expo. And then here we have the Athletics Center. This is where all the vendors will be. This is it kind of gives you a whole full layout of what that will look like. At the front here will be your Run Disney Showcases. This is where they show off weekend medals, upcoming race medals, all that stuff will be there. And then a bunch of your vendors throughout. And at the back you'll have Brooks for your race shirts to pick up, half and challenge on one side, 5K and 10K on the other. Obviously, if you're doing challenge, you only have to go to that one spot for your 3 shirts. If you're doing 5K and challenge, you have to go to both sides, or whatever combination of races you are doing. So there is that. And then the State Farm Fieldhouse. This is where your bib pickup will be. You obviously have a 5K section, 10K over here, half, and challenge in the middle. So, and then on the other side will be your game day photos, character greetings. They'll have backdrops and characters out as well, and all that stuff. On this side, you'll have runner relations, athletes with disabilities, Run Disney account services. So this is if you have problems with your Disney account, this is where you would go, and then photo pass questions as well. Moving along, that is the Expo. So if you have any Expo questions, be sure to reach out. But it's, again, very standard, nothing crazy different, really nothing different about the Expo for this race weekend. That takes us into the 5K. This is Mulan themed, a breakfast, the first meal of the day. Here we got start groups, and with the start groups, we go A through F. All groups will open at 3:45 in the morning, and then they'll close respectively starting at 4:45 and about every 5 to 10 minutes after that. And then once F is clear, that no more people can enter the race course. Then your projected start times, they will do mini waves within these corral groups. So while you may be in A, obviously you may not exactly start at 5 a.m. You may start 5:05, and these are all subject to change if there's some sort of delay because of course issues, whatever else. These are all subject. These are estimations for when you will start your race. Spectator viewing. For the 5K, there's only 2 spots you can spectate. That would be the start and the finish line. This is standard for pretty much all Run Disney 5Ks. Really nowhere you can spectate outside those areas because the park is closed and they don't let people in outside of that. Race transportation will begin at 3 a.m. for the 5K and run till 5 a.m. to get you to that start line. After the race, the transportation will start at 6:30 and run till 8:30. All that stuff, information over here as well. And then we go over to, again, race etiquette, event reminder, snack box, all the same as before. Let's go into these start staging maps first before we go into the course map. But as you can see here, this is the parking area. They'll have parking throughout all of these lots. If you're coming via resort bus, you'll be dropped off in this area over here, and then you'll have to enter through the EPCOT entrance, a regular entrance, and then come around through the around the side. This is spectator viewing and finish area as normal, and walk into the reunion lot. This is where all the major stuff will be before the race, and then the start groups will be over here to get racing. A little bit of a closer up view of that. You have obviously photo pass. The stage will be up here. New this year is a change. They moved instead of having the food and beverage tent kind of in the middle, they moved it next to the stage, to the left of the stage. Not sure how that will look, or if that will create more crowding, but there is that. And then post-event transportation will be along the side here. Gear bag check will be over there as well. Advent Health will have a tent over there and all that fun stuff. In the start group area, you'll have, before you can go in there, you can get, it'll be a bib check. This is standard. Nobody without a bib can enter this area. There'll be a water station in there before you can go, and then lots of porta potties along this back side. And then your start groups will be all on this front half here till you get to the start and all that. So that is start staging, and that will take us into our course. Course is fairly standard for a 5K. Nothing, at least for the last couple years, that is. Again, starting in that EPCOT parking lot, coming around and going back behind EPCOT, backstage, and into the EPCOT area alongside Test Track. Some years we would go underneath Test Track here through Mexico. This year we are coming in back between Test Track and Mission Space, going through between connections and creations. Just a note, if you will need a bathroom, there will be one over here on the left side of the course as you're entering before connections and creations. Then you'll come through the center of EPCOT, going through the promenade area into World Showcase, coming around again as you are coming past the Odyssey, which is this building over here. There will be bathrooms there if needed. Then we go past Mexico into Norway. Norway will have bathrooms as well, a little bit closer to course than the Odyssey ones. Past China, that's here, and then African Outpost. We get to Germany. There will be bathrooms in Germany as well. Italy. America will have your one water stop for the 5K. There will also be bathrooms in America if you need those as well. Japan will be about mile 2. Then we go to Morocco, again, bathrooms in Morocco if you need those. Past France, around through the UK, bathrooms in the UK over there as well. Past Canada. Then we go back into World Discovery. This is World Nature. And there will be bathrooms on this left side here. Past Figment. Past the land, making a turn back into the center of what World Celebration that would be, and then back through in front of Spaceship Earth. There will be bathrooms again on your left side here. We go around the fountain in front of Spaceship Earth. There will be bathrooms then again on this side of Spaceship Earth, and that will be the last time you can get a real bathroom before leaving the park backstage and heading out to the finish. That is your 5K course. Again, PhotoPass, minivan ad. Nothing too crazy there. Moving along, we go into the 10K. This is lunch. Olaf and his picnic-themed lunch here. Start groups, once again, open at 3:45. We go A to G this time, so an extra corral for the 10K. Groups will start closing at 4:45 through, and then G will be when start line is clear. Projected start times are 5 a.m. to 6:08, so at some point between them is when you will start your race. Spectator viewing, I will get into a little bit more on this as we get into the map, but they list only the start and the finish for spectator viewing for the 10K. There are a couple other spots you can for this, but they are quiet zones. Resort transportation, again, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. And then finish line, 6:30 to 9 a.m., so an extra half hour at the end there for resort transportation. Again, etiquette reminders. The 10K, the 5K is not timed. The 10K is. So this is why there's a results tab there. Obviously, race hasn't happened yet, so no results yet. Road closures tab I will go into because there are road closures for this one, unlike the 5K. So if you're planning on driving, make sure to note what roads may be closed. They are all listed here. For example, backstage lane, 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. The crush lot, exit bridge, 3:30 to 7 a.m., stuff like that. So if you're driving, just make sure you're not taking those areas that will be closed. Start and staging are all the same again, so I'm going to skip over those. And then PhotoPass and minivans back there. So let's get into this course for the 10K. 10K will once again start in the EPCOT parking lot, like all the races do. A little bit of an out and back over here, though. Note, we will not go through the EPCOT toll plaza for any of these races. That is a change. Usually we do run through that toll plaza and then work our way back around. This year we are not doing a U-turn over here before that toll plaza and making our way back around into EPCOT just like we did for that 5K. Well, actually not exactly just like that, but a little bit further out and then back through backstage. There will be a water stop just past mile 1, and then we enter just between test track and mission space like we did for the 5K. This time we go around by Guardians, and then we do this weird little U-turn between Connections and Creations, and that's different. But then we go past, there's, like I said before, there will be bathrooms right there. We go right past them for this race. Through World Celebration into World Showcase, we're going to go around by these World Showcase shops here in the middle. We're going to take this narrow path here, so keep that in mind. This is going to be a narrow path as we go between those two shops and back out into World Showcase, past Mexico. Again, Odyssey is a bathroom option if you need it. And then we'll go into Norway, another bathroom option. China, African Outpost, Germany, bathroom option. Into America will be a water stop, again, bathrooms. Past Japan, Morocco will be mile 3, bathrooms there. We'll go past France. We're going to go out through International Gateway, and we'll go around past the boardwalk. Now, for spectating, this would be a spectating spot if need be, or I shouldn't say need be. If you are in that area, along the boardwalk is a great place to spectate. However, there usually is Disney security out here to kind of keep things quiet, because these are still operating resorts and people are sleeping at 5 in the morning because that's what normal people do. But they do have this open, so you can go out there and spectate as well. Along the bridge by the Swan and Dolphin on this side, and then around Yacht Club, again, spectating over here, and Beach Club, spectating over there. Also quiet zones, so keep that in mind. Then we go back in, past the Skyliner station behind that, around World Show Place. This curved building up here, there will be a water stop back there. And then you will go back into World Showcase. There will be bathrooms on your right side as you enter. And then past Canada. And then again, bathrooms over on this side on the left. We're going to go out towards Figment. And there will be bathrooms back here by Figment. We go backstage and around and back in to Epcot behind the Seas Pavilion, and we come past the land, do another strange U-turn type thing into a World Celebration once again, around the circle of World Celebration, past Spaceship Earth, bathrooms on the left side there. We go around in the front by the security gates or ticket touch points, and back through there, and again bathrooms right there, and back out through the exit, mile 6, and the finish, and that is the 10K. So this 10K it's similar but different. There's a lot of weird windingness going on inside Epcot, so there's that. I think that's because they took out, prior to this, we would come out here and run on this road and do kind of like a hairpin turn and come all the way back and come in. So they took that out and kind of added some weird windingness going on inside the park. We'll see how that is. It's going to be a lot of turning, I guess. Some narrow areas as well, like I said, up here. So keep that in mind. But I do enjoy the 10K course for really any Run Disney weekend quite a bit. So that's a 10K. That takes us into the half marathon. There we go. Start groups, again, A through G. Groups will open at 3:15. This is going to be the largest race of the weekend, so they open things a little bit earlier, get people moving. Again, 4:45 A closes. Start line clear after 5:25, so probably 5:40-ish. Actually, take that back. No, start line clear. It's because the projected start time is 6:05. So that will be once that time start. Once basically 6:05 done, so everybody's on course. So 5 a.m. to 6:05 start groups. Spectating again. We may touch on some other spots here, but this is what they say: start and finish areas only. Transportation starts a little bit earlier for this one. 2:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. And then after the race, 6:30 to 10:30. It does as they all say, but just to note, all spectators and participants should plan to arrive by 4 o'clock. But keep that in mind. Again, race etiquette, event reminders, results, snack box, all the same. Again, road closures here. More road closures because it's a larger race. We're out on the road some more. So make sure to keep that in mind. If you are driving, a lot of these roads will be closing to get to EPCOT. Start and staging all the same as well. So let's dive into that course. Once again, just like the 10K here, we are starting in that parking lot and doing that turn. Like we just did, mile 1 there. Just past that will be a water stop. Basically, that first mile and a half is all the same as the 10K was. We come into EPCOT, but instead of going between Mission Space and Test Track, we're going to go under Test Track and into World Showcase right away between Mexico and Norway. As you come into World Showcase, again, bathrooms in Norway right there. And then it will go past through around World Showcase, Germany bathrooms, America water stop and bathrooms. Then we go Japan, Morocco bathrooms, France, Canada or not Canada, UK will have bathrooms as we're leaving and going out backstage and past the Skyliner station. We will come around the boardwalk for mile 3. And again, spectating spot here. Again, quiet zone though, so if you are planning on spectating there, don't anticipate being very loud, but there is always spectators here, so definitely a good spot for that. Then we're going to come down that International Squeezeway, as some call it, the pathway from the boardwalk to Disney's Hollywood Studios. There will be bathrooms by the bus stops here at Hollywood Studios. And as we enter in past the Skyliner station, kind of backstage, as we can see here now on this zoomed in version of this, you will come in just to the right of the ticket booths here and kind of backstage and onto Hollywood Boulevard. We will come down, there will be bathrooms right as you enter the park there, and come down Hollywood Boulevard and make a left into Echo Lake, past around Echo Lake Gertie, and go around into the area where Star Tours is. And there will be bathrooms right back over there as well. And as we go into Galaxy's Edge, then we will go through Galaxy's Edge around into Toy Story Land. Again, bathrooms over in Toy Story Land, right on the right side as you enter Toy Story Land, through Toy Story Land, and then back out. And then we're going to go through that Pixar place area. They have meet and greets and stuff there. So we're going to go through there. This is a change this year, so keep this in mind. We're going to come through there, and then go backstage again, and then pass by where we just came in for Galaxy's Edge. Now, because of this change, this in previous years when we ran through here, because this was we were only going into Galaxy's Edge, this was we kind of had the full path. Now, with having two directions going, I would expect that path to be narrower, of course, because they have to have room for both directions of runners. So keep that in mind, that this may be a tight area in here because it's not the largest path to begin with. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be an interesting kind of change as we come back out around. Then we'll go back by Sci-Fi Dine-In over here in the Baseline Tap House. Through there, that will be mile 5. The ABC commissary is in here as well. Kind of out front by the Chinese Theater. Usually always Mickey and Minnie or someone is out here in front of the Chinese Theater for a character stop. But then we kind of come up Hollywood Boulevard again, and then take a left onto Sunset Boulevard and run towards Tower of Terror. And that will take us past Tower of Terror and out backstage. As you can see, if we move back over here, they'll take us out past Fantasmic. In the Fantasmic area, there is a bathroom there, so that is another option. As we leave the parks, that'll probably be your first or last real bathroom for quite some time. There will be a water stop there as well, and then we go out onto the roadways, take a left, and a lot of highway time then. And we're going on the highway, we go past Coronado Springs Resort. That's what this is over here on the left as we come through mile 6. Then everybody's most favorite thing from the marathon, the Blizzard Beach parking lot. We get the great pleasure of running around the parking lot once again, but this time for a half marathon, because why not? So, around the parking lot, back out, and then back around an on-ramp, kind of do a hairpin turn, and then straight up towards EPCOT. A lot of road, a lot of road, a lot of road. You'll see the EPCOT toll plaza there. We'll be going to the left of that as we come back in, making another hairpin turn at just before mile 11. To come through and come back into EPCOT. This will be coming through the parking lot and the bus area. Now, another spectating spot possibility is this bus stop area. A lot of people will come to this area. They'll be kind of lined all along the parking lot here and along the bus stops, cheering. Great spot for that. And then we'll come in behind the Seas Pavilion, backstage, around behind the land. Then we'll come in by Figment. Again, real bathrooms right there. So that's a good spot for that if you need it as we bank our way back into EPCOT towards World Showcase. We just barely tap into World Showcase. So there'll be bathrooms right over here again. Then back out of World Showcase into World Celebration between Connections and Creations. There'll be bathrooms on that right side there as you come out of Connections and Creations. And then backstage between Test Track and Mission Space, out behind Wonders of Life, Guardians, out to the finish, and that is the half marathon. Obviously some changes with this one. We've never run the Blizzard Beach parking lot for a half marathon before. We've also got some changes inside Hollywood Studios that will be interesting. Now, that is a lot of it is due to construction. If in Hollywood Studios here, this the area for Animation Courtyard, where Star Wars Launch Bay is, that is all currently closed, being redone. And then, of course, on this side, Muppets area. Not that we ever ran in there, but the Muppets area is closed for Monsters Inc. Land coming. Before, we also, last year, instead of this parking lot nonsense that they have decided to add, we would run by Blizzard Beach, back around it, and come up around back behind Hollywood Studios again and kind of just do this big circle. I don't know if running a parking lot is going to be better, but that's what they decided. So there's that. But anyways, overall, not a bad course, I guess. I don't know. I desperately miss the old Magic Kingdom start, run into Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then EPCOT finish. You kind of got the best of everything on that course. That was by far the best half course I've ever run for runDisney. But yeah, that is the half marathon. We're not done yet, though. One of the cool things about Wine Dine weekend is you get a post-race party. That post-race party will take place Sunday after the half marathon at 10 p.m. start. You can start getting in with your party ticket, which if you are running the half or the challenge, you get automatically. They also sell them for family and friends if you are looking to join in the fun at the post-race party as well. You can get in starting at 5 o'clock, whether it be through International Gateway, the main EPCOT entrance, or there'll be 2 spots within the park to pick up your wristbands for the after party. At the after party, a few rides, that will be available: Soarin' Test Track, Living with the Land, Frozen, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. There will be entertainment and characters throughout. There will be a special edition marathon or Wine and Dine weekend pin that will go on available at 7 o'clock at the Creation Shop while supplies last. Again, if you need a party ticket, you can get that there on that tab. Important information for the party. They will be mailed to you beginning October 1st, so be on the lookout for that. If you have some issues with that, be sure to check out the Advent Health Arena box office during Expo hours. You will also be getting a $15 Disney promo card. This is a gift card that does have an expiration date, so it has to be used by a certain date. You can use it obviously at the party, which a lot of people do, or throughout the weekend for anything really. That will start being emailed out on October 13th, so be on the lookout for that as well. The entrances you can use are the main EPCOT entrance, International Gateway, to pick up your wristbands, or in the inside the park you can do a World Show place between UK and Canada pavilions, or in World Celebration between Connections and Creations, kind of under that overhang there will be the spots. And they'll have special maps for the night as well that they'll give you with your wristband. Transportation-wise, obviously, to get to the party, you can use the Skyliner monorails and stuff because the park will be open at that point still. However, post party, it will be bus only. The Skyliner monorails will not operate, and the buses will run till 2:30 to get you back to your resorts for that. So that is it. Again, a minivan ad there. That is that for the post-race party. They have a tab for upcoming events. There's a tab for the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida. That is the charity of the weekend. And then these are all event sponsors. Again, Advent Health, Baduco, it's usually in the snack box. Brooks, this will be a little bit about Brooks, because obviously they are now the official shoe and the official race shirt of Run Disney. Going back. And you can win an Echelon treadmill. Enterprise usually has a discount or something available. Honey Stinger, Galloway, Mission, Drawn to Life usually has a discount. Save up to 20% off tickets for Drawn to Life at Disney Springs. Race medal, plaques and whatnot. MedSense massagers. All this different stuff. Shocks is a big sponsor. All that stuff. So that's just kind of stuff you can go through on your own. But that is it. That is your 2025 Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend event guide. If you have questions, comments, concerns, be sure to reach out. I will be there for all three races. Very excited to get started with this season. I missed out on Halloween weekend. But Wine and Dine will be a great time as always. Big fan of Wine and Dine. One of my favorite race weekends. So yeah, we'll see you there. Be sure to say hi. Be at the Expo for quite some time on Thursday. Pre-race, post-race, hang out. I get there early before the race, stay there late after the race. So don't hesitate to come up and say hi and hang out. So yeah, we'll see you at Wine and Dine coming up here very soon in just a few weeks.